Today I'm wearing glasses.
Newsflash, it takes a little more than wearing a hat and or glasses to fool people.
Who are you?
Ever since I posted the first couple videos of this grill working and turning on, everyone wants to know, do you make it for my truck? Where did you get the lights from? Where did you buy the grill? Do you make it for Jeeps? So today I'm gonna be making some more parts for the truck because this truck needs a few more details before it really looks like it came from Cyberpunk. Hopefully I answer all your questions with where this grill came from and how I made it. Let's get to it. We're gonna start by making a piece that is on one of the vehicles in the game, Johnny Silverhand's Porsche. This piece right here is going to be that device on the front. I don't actually know what it's for, but we're gonna make it. So I got a couple things here. This Pelican case or Pelican style case from Harbor Freight. This was the smallest one they make. It looks pretty similar, I think, to what's on the front of that Porsche, or at least we're gonna be able to make it look similar. I've got these battery powered rock lights. So in the game, almost all the vehicles have these blue and yellow and red flashing lights, including in that power junction box type of deal they have on the Porsche. So these guys should be able to give us that effect. It is kind of hard, especially when they're cheap electronics, to get things to flash exactly the same. So you can already see that these are starting to not flash the same, which I'm gonna need 2 for this box. So I'm gonna try to turn all of these on. These guys aren't very similar, but these look pretty good. So as we pick a spot for this, I want it to be very similar to the Porsche in the game. We need this to be accessible. We need this to not be blocked. We need the winch to not be blocked. So really, I think about here is where it's gonna have to go. Or possibly here. Now on the grill of the truck, when I decided to go with a cyberpunk theme, I was trying to make the front not look so much like a Chevy. I actually started by searching on eBay and Amazon trying to find a cool Chevy grill. I really liked the Phantom grill because a lot of the trucks in the game and cars don't have what I would call a face on them, like a lot of vehicles from the real world have. So the Phantom grill kind of had that look. Then I put a bunch of the cars in the game together just to look at details on them, see what would suit the look of this truck. And the closest two that had a similar look to how the Phantom grill looks, one was the Thornton truck, and the Quadra Type R looked like that type of a grill, but it was only like one layer, and I basically just stacked it. So this is the Phantom grill, the actual lines. The plastic is a factory grill. And believe it or not, that stuff is actually pretty straightforward to put together. Especially if you're gonna use a factory style headlight, which I didn't. The part that actually made that grill complicated and hard to make wasn't necessarily these light bar lines, but the headlights, because I wanted headlights that would connect the edge of the bar. So if you look, these headlights actually have their own light bar separate from the grill. I also really liked how it looked with just the grill on, so I thought that was really cool. So I wanted to have that stuff separate, and I wanted to be able to have it connect. I saw a lot of comments saying how bright that thing is, but in reality it's not that bright. It's just like a daytime running light. So if you turn the headlights on, you can see how bright the actual headlights are compared to it. So it's not that bright. So the next thing I had to come up with was, how do I get those lights? Like, I started by just searching diffused white LED strips. It has like a white filter on it so that it's a smooth bar all the way across. And I pretty much bought the first ones that looked like they would fit the design idea. I didn't actually know they would have a startup sequence until after they connected, so that was a bonus. That's how that came about. I'm gonna eyeball this for now. I'm making this up as I go. So I'm gonna cut this off right. I'm gonna go right here. That should work out. This marker is not very good, but I got a little line. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut 2 pieces of aluminum that are that long. It's marked. So bonus, the foam that came with it, I can use to keep it from getting scratched. And I think I'm gonna put this side toward the winch because it looks kind of functional. I'm gonna have these pretty much all the way down here. All right, now did I drill these holes big enough? I sure did. Let's go ahead and put this together. So anyway, back to the grill. The corner lights, if you look, don't actually belong to this year truck. They're for a newer one. And they actually kind of stick out from the grill a little bit. They're a little bit oversized, but those are the only ones that existed for this truck that I know of that would have fit the look. They have that like that startup sequence like the grill has. So I feel like that was kind of important to have. You know, you couldn't just stick a regular turn signal valve on this thing and it looked correct. So that's how I wound up with those. Now there's a few specifics on this grill where if you don't need certain details like I did, that could make it be a lot easier to make. The turn signals, that's one of them. The headlights was something else. Now, I cannot recommend highly enough that if you don't need these headlights for your build, to not use these headlights for your build because they are a completely different design from the factory one in terms of the way the mount and stuff is built. What I'm using here is adhesion promoter. It helps this stick a lot better, the double-sided tape. I'm using this as a combination as a cushion between the metal and the powder coat and kind of help hold it steady so it doesn't bounce around. But those headlights do not fit the Phantom grill. To make those fit, you have to spend quite a bit of time modifying the brackets, cutting, grinding. Same with the turn signals, you're cutting and you're grinding and gluing and epoxy. You gotta shorten them by an inch to get them to fit behind that grill. Where if you buy a factory style headlight, it'll just fit behind the grill. Or you can get a Phantom grill that doesn't cover the headlight. You can get the billet grill that the headlight stays exposed. And you could probably still do the light bars all the way across if you didn't do that. Perfect. All right, so now I'm gonna go up here with the tape. This is gonna act like a cushion for the metal and the powder coat to not scratch it. And it's also gonna help hold it in place. And just like that, double-sided tape is good to go. I'm just gonna bend this right here on the bolt. Hopefully the bolt's strong enough. And we're just gonna bend. That should be good. I might actually have to cut this. This might be too long. That actually worked out great. Nice, that's not bad, that works. That's what I needed it to do, nice. So this is actually gonna, with the double-sided tape, hook onto the bumper. It shouldn't really need anything else. This is pretty sturdy. So let's see how this looks. It sits here. Okay. I'll take it. Something like that. That's not bad. Could be worse. I think I'm gonna paint these. That will help it. So I'm actually gonna paint the inside of this box in white so that the lights kind of reflect on the inside, which will make sense in a little bit. I'm gonna paint the brackets matte black so that they don't look like I homemade them. So I'm not gonna need much here, and I don't wanna get it on the outside of the box. Just enough for some reflection. We don't need it to be perfect, we just need it to be a little reflective. Now I'm actually gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut these out to make room for the lights. And I think it will probably look the cleanest if I just stick with that. Worst case, you know, wasted 10 bucks and have to buy another one of these boxes. All right, that is one kind of punched out. I'm gonna go at it with the Dremel to make it fit the space a little bit better. All right, that's a pretty good start. These little fibers off of here. Now I'm gonna cut some of this clear plastic. This is what I'm gonna use as the lens. I went ahead and just siliconed these with some blue gasket maker because that's all I had on hand. But like I said, you're not gonna ever see this. I'm gonna seal the box. We'll let this dry a little bit. Once that's dry, we'll put the lights in and see how it looks.
Girls with